Here we go.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for session number 16 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play here on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can visit happyjacks.org/Starscape, all one word. And to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, you can visit happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi, she, her, and I am the designer of the system and the GM for this wild, wild ride in the campaign. And thank you so much. If you're just tuning in for the first time, there's a lot of things coming to a head right now. You might want to go back a bit, check out some other episodes leading up to this, because this one might not make a lot of sense without all the backstory. So,
or start here on Memento It.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That would be wild
Reverse
too.
the end.
Yeah.
Plus, they're also great episodes.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go ahead and start over here.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I'm here to play Nolvath, the unfamiliar playbook, and resident camouflage alien person of the ship, who just got a little bit weirder. I got a new move, which I'm excited to try out.
Yeah. Why don't we do intros and then you can do like upgrades or anything anybody got.
Yeah. Hi everybody, I'm Kai. I use he, them, she pronouns, and tonight I'm back playing Rode, who uses he, him pronouns, who is the civilian playbook, and he's normal.
Same. My name's Jason. My pronouns are he, him, as are Alistair Ward's, playing the warrior playbook, also with an upgrade to be discussed at a later time.
Oh, exciting. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay, and I'm playing Lieutenant Jonas Hurley. We both use he, him pronouns. I am playing the Hotshot playbook. I am the only human. And I also... I didn't get an upgrade, so...
Oh.
And hi, everybody. I'm CADave. Both myself and my character, Lawrence Benson, are he, him. I have an upgrade, but I'm still deciding.
It's like a shopping thing. You're like, I can't.
I know.
buy it.
You got to walk up and down the
Okay,
aisles a
options.
couple of times.
Yeah.
And you got to, like, side-eye the item you really want. And
Yeah.
walk on to check out another
Do a
one.
selfie from a different angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so last time on Starscape, we finally arrived in the industrial system that you all have been kind of looking at and going towards for a couple sessions because we had a couple weird things happen while we were in jump space. While you were there, you made contact with the Pyronans who are in charge of the area officially. And it's basically this big company corporation. It's a little bit different than a lot of the other Pyronan kind of powerhouse corporations because it's actually not family-based. It is literally a company, which is very strange for Pyronan society, but it's something that really they work with the government a lot because that's a way for the government to get things done without showing favoritism towards certain families, and of course kind of keeping the peace in Pyronan hierarchy, as it were. Rode was able to contact them as an alias and reach out and have a negotiation with this poor person who thought that they were all set. They are the highest ranking person at the company in this sector, and they were just completely outmatched in negotiation. Rode just wiped the floor with them, but politely and in a way that they could not upset. And then Jonas just stuffed his face at the table, and that just shocked them so badly that also helps the negotiation process. While they were there, they were contacted, you had placed some cameras in the conference room. So
Just one.
Yeah, just one. And after you left, you were able to listen in a little bit on what they were saying. They made a very specific request. They were happy to have you stay in the system. They gave you basically everything you asked for, but they made the very specific request that they did not want you to leave your ship. So you can you can go around the system, you can visit, you can see the sites, as long as you stay in your ship and see them from afar. There's not really a lot to see anyway, so it's not a completely huge ask for them to be like, hey, stay off our industrial factories where it might not be safe, stay on your ship. But there's also an underlying suspicion you already have that's kind of playing into, that there are Phagenians somewhere in the system. So Evodi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Evodi is the squid-like telepath who you have staying against their will on your ship at the moment. They are a guess.
They're
Not
guests.
our fault they can't leave that room without the ship locking them down.
If
Right.
they had asked to get off at this space station, I don't think we would have
That
objected.
would have been so funny.
Mm.
I don't know if that would have been interesting. But during Alistair's attempts to block their telepathy, Alistair was singing a song, and that got stuck in poor Avodi's head. So Avodi was singing it very loudly telepathically throughout the system. Finally, after the negotiations were over, Alistair went and was like, "Could you cut that out, please? It's very annoying." And during that, Avodi shared the revelation that, hey, there's a lot of minds in the system that are blocking me.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, the only being that they know of that can really fully block the telepathy is Lawrence.
Yeah.
So the fact that there are a lot of possible Lawrences in the system is a very big deal.
Oh, there's only one Lawrence.
Well, yes.
The rest of them are
A lot of
ugly.
beings with
A lot of the
capability.
rest of them could have taken that name.
They're all Lawrence.
There's so
actually.
many, right? That there are only so many names you can pick.
Right.
We're all Larry down here.
Terrifying.
So yeah, that was kind of a revelation that happened near the end of the last episode. There's also, while they were trying to tap into some other things, they found like a frequency that is frequently used by Phegenians. And there's just like a slight click when they run past that set of frequencies. They're not able to completely hear it, but it's just like, feels like there's something there that's being hidden from them. So they are very, very, pretty sure that there are Phegenians hiding somewhere in this system.
A frequency frequently frequented by.
Phegenians,
Like
yes.
Free genians.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where we left off last time, is we kind of had just had the revelation of, wow, that's a lot of evidence that Phegenians might be here. I think it was even the double take of like Alistair had found out about Evodi's like mind being blocked by a bunch of things, had gone and had some fun time with Rode, and then like brought it back to the group and was like, oh, by the way, and I think that's might have been where we ended it.
Yeah, somewhere right around there.
Right around
we
there.
Were just playing Scrabble.
Yeah. That's a
Twister.
sandwich.
Adult
There you go.
Twister.
Also,
Yeah, right.
So why don't so a couple of you got advancements. You want to?
Yes. Also, I forgot how to do this because I wasn't here for a week. My pronouns are she, they, and
Yes.
and Nolvath's are they, them. So I got an upgrade, and I'm gonna take a move on the Unfamiliar's playbook called Not Like You. You can survive things that most other crew members cannot. When faced with a substance or environmental condition that is dangerous to the crew, roll plus body. On 10 plus, you're completely immune. On a 7 to 9, the effect is much slower or less dangerous to you. 6 minus, just damage like everybody else.
Okay.
But since narratively, Nolvath has been trying to use the Inar and DNA to upgrade themselves as their species does,
Mm-hmm.
I figured that one would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Does that include like vacuum?
It can.
Oh, yeah, I bet
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Hardened against it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm not saying that we're going to need that. That was not.
Maybe, but
It's good to know. Yeah.
Just in case.
We're not saying that we're not going to need it.
yeah, we're not gonna use it.
Yeah.
I'm reminded why I don't wear plain black T-shirts to this show, as I'm just floating ahead on the.
You tuck
video.
your arms in. You
Great
can be,
content for our podcast audience, but
Yeah, that's okay.
Alistair also has taken the telepathic ability. I forget which playbook it came off of. The Gifted.
The gifted.
oh
Yeah. And is not at all qualified to be a telepath, which is why it's fantastic that he's discovered he has a talent for it. Or he has the ability for it, not
Not
a
a
talent.
talent.
He is a +0 in the stat that one would roll
Yes.
to telepathy someone.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
It's
I'm
gonna
not
be
worried
great.
about it.
Totally cool. Did you want to say or no?
Oh, I finally picked.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing the investments in the ship,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided not. I picked up the last move that I really wanted on my playbook, so I picked up Spycraft, which
oh, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
will help with additional aliases for me as
Awesome.
needed.
Excellent. Yeah, that seems like something you should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
one
at
of
a-
those like I kept thinking about needing it, but then other things kept coming up that I wanted other moves as I leveled. So here we are.
Cool.
I might actually take the ship investments.
Okay.
I asked for a bunch of things from these people. I think that makes sense.
It makes sense. All right. Very good. Then what do we like? What do we want our first kind of opening scene to be then? So you had ended with like a group kind of moments. We can pick up right where we left off, where it was a little bit of a conversation like, what? What do you mean there's mines all over the place? Or we can kind of skip forward a little bit and so we're acting on that information.
What was I doing? What was Nolvath doing the whole time? Less.
You
I wasn't
stayed on
here.
the ship to keep an eye.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
it made sense because they went down to do that negotiation thing.
Got it.
And you're weird.
Yeah.
I mean, when we get back onto the ship, Jonas is going to go over and like fill you in on everything. I'll make sure to mention, just to let you know, to be able to acquire the things that we need, we did say that we may have to give some of this ship tech over to the
Oh, yeah.
the
One of the sleep
Pyronin.
pods.
Well, I was thinking actually. You've been getting familiar with the that sort of strange, spirally three-dimensional interface communication system.
Oh yes.
Would it be possible to maybe extract some of that, fill it with a little bit of useless information, and make it look more like there's something there, more valuable than it looks? Maybe a way to layer information on information and make things a little harder to trace.
It would be quite difficult for anyone not familiar with it to decipher.
Well, maybe that's something we can think about. Giving them that, hopefully it'll be impressive enough that they'll take it for whatever they need.
Yes, we are wary of giving them anything, parts of the actual ship, especially considering the Inarans are not awake to consent to that.
To be frank, we are too. And I think I'll spend like the next until we get that notice, until y'all are done and we get that notice that there's something going on with the Voti. I'll spend the time with you and just
How long were they off the ship?
A couple hours.
Yeah, a few hours, not
Okay.
a huge amount of time.
Okay.
Enough to do negotiations.
Yeah, I mean, with travel time, it could have been as much as 6 hours and all that. You know, like
Probably, yeah.
by the time we got there and had snacks. And,
Yeah, there was a meal served, which is a
Gotcha.
very bureaucratic, very traditional process for the Pyronins. So
I think, Jonas, you noticed that Nolvath seems more tired
yeah.
than usual. Kind of like they ask you if you want to like come and take a nap with them, and like they're very low energy comparatively to how they normally are.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. Is everything all right?
Oh yes, we are expending quite a lot of energy to evolve.
Oh. Calling me intrigued. But yeah, you know what? You look like you need some taken care of. Let's go take care of it.
Thank you, Jonas.
And yeah, I'll go over. I'll snuggle up with you and hopefully help you get some rest.
Awesome.
So sweet, cuddling with the squid monster.
Yeah.
Does that manifest in like a weird way? Like while I'm holding you, do I start feeling like
Not
oh,
changes in the body?
I
not
think
yet.
not yet. I think like by the next day, instead of the kind of like amphibian like texture,
Yeah.
it's more of a soft shell crab situation.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
Sam, you play my favorite nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I mean it genuinely. It sounds like a backhanded compliment or something, and I don't mean it that way.
No, that's a very genuine, lovely compliment for me. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Do you wanna?
Hmm?
Okay.
No, I was just giving that to you as
Okay.
food for the future. That's all.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah. At some point, I need to arrange a meeting with Jonas that when we're not entwined with our respective partners. But
Is that where you are right now?
well, yeah, I mean they're intertwined. We're
That's what I'm
twining.
asking.
Yeah.
And then untwining and
I
then
think
twining
if,
again.
I
Yeah.
think if everybody is busy,
Yeah.
I will probably go after I've gotten all the cameras removed and in a duffel bag and thrown in a Faraday cage.
Jeez.
I will go down and see Evody
Okay.
myself.
Does that mean there wasn't a camera in our room for you to retrieve, or did you have to come and knock on
I
the
mean,
door?
Rhoda has a pretty
No,
well
I didn't put any cameras in anybody's room.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Can we
right.
have to take off her Evody costume?
Join the Evody hat. If you're just on podcast right now, please check the timestamp. Go look on YouTube. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with this hat.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a
Giving Squid
giant,
Pope a little.
shiny
Squid
squid
Pope.
hat.
Yes.
Evody wishes
Yes.
that they were
Bug-eyed
Squid
Squid
Pope.
Pope.
It's definitely Squid Pope. I took my kids to the aquarium and they had a fantastic squid hat, and I just couldn't.
It's so good.
I'm obsessed with this hat, actually.
amazing.
Very shiny.
Yeah.
You needed a shirt to match.
Yeah, this might be the best bunny
Need
hat
a
I've
top
ever
to
seen.
match.
It's
Yeah.
very good. It's got big eyes and it's got big like squid tentacle things.
I
Okay,
want one.
this is great podcasting. Okay.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Hello.
Absolutely.
I am
Heidi ho.
Well, wait. You have informed us about Evody finding other beings.
Yes,
Yeah,
once
cool.
we
It's
stopped twining.
Yes.
Just wanted to be
There
sure.
has been an update. I think we're sort of in the like showering phase, and I've like sent a message to the group text
Okay.
that I had to start to have a group text
Yes.
with me in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've sent like a bit of an update. Evody reports that there are a number of mines in the system that they're not able to read or penetrate, and that may or may not be a problem.
All right. This is along the same lines, but more hilarious and not awkward as like Stu with the fan.
Yes.
like,
In the day.
but anyhow, I probably just open the door and say, I've heard that you have found mines you cannot access.
I
In the
said
system?
penetrate.
I was trying to make it diplomatic.
Penetrate the diplomat.
What is it to you? They're like backed all the way, like as far as they can get away from you.
And I'm specifically not menacing mouth.
Yes.
But are you having problems the same way you would if you tried to communicate with my mind?
You see them like squint at you for, well, they can't really move. Right? Like, it's
All
like
their
a
eyes.
focus, like a little more focus. It is similar, yes.
All right. If the need comes, I may return to help you access them.
Help us.
This would
How?
be in exchange for our continued survival.
By our, I suppose you include me as well.
I'm afraid that there are others of my kind here not as kind as I am.
I see. You are kind. Well, you're kind.
Yes.
They like shudder.
And I don't think they would hesitate to punch holes in the ship and evacuate all the atmosphere to
See.
take what they want.
True predators, you are then.
So, if the situation becomes desperate, I can instruct you on how to navigate their defenses.
Very well. There are others who may be more powerful than I in the system. I have been able to avoid them, but are they of your kind as well?
I certainly hope not. But if they are, I recommend you attempt to make yourself as small as possible.
Very well. They kind of are less like shrinking away from you at this point and kind of regain some of their dignity or standing normally.
Is there anything you need?
Well, I would like, if it is not too much trouble, I would like to go back to the biome where I was staying before. I cannot leave there anyway, so I do not see why I needlessly need to be uncomfortable in this room.
Let me bring it up with our captain and the rest of the crew. But I will advocate for this.
It is very clear once a bit of contact has been made that you don't have a captain, do you?
We operate mostly collectively.
I see the reasons for the pretense, but it is foolish to lie to a telepath. Even when I am respecting boundaries and trying very hard not to read, you all are very loud with your thoughts at all times, and it is very hard to mind my mind when you are all very loud and mating so often.
Yeah.
They are mating so often. It is very uncomfortable.
I understand.
Gotta keep trying.
I also find it somewhat distressing.
Words.
I understand the biological urge. But there are limits.
I understand.
And aren't we in mortal danger?
Highly likely. I think perhaps it's that danger that causes people to find reasons to celebrate life.
Would never understand land dwellers. You're all very, very unique. Let me know if
I will do what I can to get you back to your at least temporary home.
thank you. And thank you for not eating me this time.
Oh, please. I have no intention to continue doing so.
Good. Excellent. Good. Yes.
Again, it was a case of mistaken identity.
Oh.
In that we were unaware that you had an identity.
Ah. Yes. All right. I think it is best that this conversation be over now.
I understand. I shall bring news when I have it.
Thank you. Yes. I will try to remain small for those of your kind with such great mind powers. They kind of...
Yes. And I think... I don't know how well Evodi would understand it, but I think Lawrence looks upset. Like... kind of the look that somebody gets when they know they're stuck in a situation they can't get out of. Like, mild panic, I guess. You know, eyes looking around for exits, that kind of thing. But then he slaps the door shut and walks off.
Let's leave that a mystery. All right.
No.
Put it back on. All right. Who wants the spotlight next?
I think once Rode reads the message, he immediately starts to very obviously look in a trunk that he never touches, that is full of hats.
Hats.
Yep.
What is this collection of hats?
I was traveling. This is my sun hat. This is my traveling hat. This is my exploring hat.
By the way, I'm picturing I have like, I sent out this message and then we were canoodling.
Yeah.
And then I've been like in the shower.
Yeah, and then
you
Rode
read
finally checked the message.
And I'm like coming out in a towel and I'm like, what is that?
And there's just hats everywhere on the bed,
all hats.
on every surface.
How are there so
And,
many
and deeply
hats in
strange
there?
because Pyronins also, like many of them have crests, like culturally hats are
Beautiful
kind
plumage.
of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Including that like you could be wearing like false plumage if you're wearing a hat. No, he just has hats. He has a lot of them.
Okay.
First of all, you said that there was mind readers, possibly in lots of places.
Well, the opposite of mind readers. Negative spots.
Ugh,
Holes, if you will.
that doesn't make it better. I just need to find the right hat to stop any prying
Hats,
brains.
it doesn't work that way.
Then how does it work?
The best defense for telepathy is to have a mantra or something to repeat to yourself. This is we learned this in the service. You didn't get any training in this? Your family?
You were nearly the only trainer that I ever encountered
Okay.
that wasn't my sibling.
All right. Focusing on a song or a limerick or a poem or something that's sort of easy to, if you know that you're in the presence of a telepath and you want to block them out of your active
But how do I do it
thoughts.
all the time since Devotee apparently can just do this?
Well, it's more of an active defense technique, I suppose, but
So I need a hat.
I don't think there's any such thing that can stop a telepath. Not to my knowledge.
Oh, I certainly don't like anything. And he just like lays on the bed surrounded in hats.
Now, out of character,
Yeah.
are we saying that do the Phegenians have some sort of device or like passive material that makes them resistant to telepathy?
they're
No,
trained.
we're just
Oh, you just have excessive training.
Yeah.
Like
Or extensive
actual
training.
Yeah, Rode is looking for a tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
He does not know how
I
any of
kind
this
of
works.
explained
Yeah.
the basics of the training too.
Yes.
Ted.
Yeah.
What was your explanation?
My-
Like, remind me what you were saying about.
oh, like
the-
in your own mind, you always have power.
yeah.
And
Establishing your mind palace.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the- yeah. So that I kind of
Mind
reviewed that
the
as well.
labyrinth. Yeah.
That was insight for me. Like I'm building my mind palace.
You've been inside of where I keep all of my thoughts. It's a nice grand house.
Yes.
Cinder Falls. There's about 60 rooms. Half of them I've never had a key to.
Well, that's a small place, but we can upgrade later.
Oh. Anyways. I don't know how to resist any of this. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I don't want to be a vulnerability.
Well, there's all we can do is our best. And the good news is Phegenians are largely not telepathic. Is that our setting, right?
I haven't talked to you about that.
Yeah, we don't know.
Okay. Well, our
But you've
impression-
never encountered, like, I
Okay,
have not
yeah.
mentioned.
We have no
or-
reason to know.
The wider universe
Yeah.
has no information about Phegenians
Okay,
being
so
telepaths.
my military training says it's like the defensive techniques I've learned were not even for Phegenians. It was for the odd encounter with other species.
I invited Devotee in. I didn't know any better.
There's no reason not to. Avodi is not an
But what if
untrustworthy figure.
Devotee was an enemy?
you're still not defenseless. Remember, if you invite them into your house, it's still your house.
I don't like being in conversations with people I can't guard against, let alone people in my own brain.
Well, we can practice.
Fine. We'll practice.
Okay. Oh, you want to practice right now?
How are you going to practice?
There's just a lot happening, but okay. So, what one technique we can work on is let's say there's something you don't want me to know. You could come up with a number and decide that's a number you don't want me to know. And for you, you'll spend some time hiding it in your house. Put it somewhere where you think I won't.
We're going to play hide and seek.
Well, a version of it. The metaphor will break down eventually, but if you go through that exercise, you may be able to successfully hide this idea from me.
Fascinating.
I will try to find it. And
But you're new to this.
Yes.
And I don't mind you being in my brain. It's everyone else that's the problem.
Well, right, but that's why it's safe to practice with me.
What?
If I can find it, it means you're not very good at guarding it.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, then. Kimmy, is it all right if I do a telepath roll
Yeah.
to try to
yes.
find the secret
Yeah.
in Rhodes' mind?
Now, okay, now the telepathy that I wrote into the game specifically is only communication.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want there to be like mind reading against people's
Yeah.
like
Right.
consent. If you're both consenting, I will let the communication telepathy rolls work that way for the two characters here.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
is, like, if we're able to establish this, like we're agreeing to work on something together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just want to make sure, it's not mind reading that's the telepathy, it's communication.
It's the
So you can
yes.
send conversation back and
Yeah.
forth. Yes. Okay.
All right. So we're doing a form of like I'm trying to.
Well, we can make it a little bit of a custom move as
Okay.
long as you're both okay with it. That's just what I want to check. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
So you can read Rhodes' mind with this move because you both consent to it.
Okay.
Road just doesn't. He has no roadmap for how to engage with telepathy at all.
Yeah.
And realizing that he was just like, oh yeah, you're in my brain, and it was fine with Evodi, and then going, you could have been an enemy, is a very terrifying realization.
Yeah.
So I think to start, we probably do some basic like, okay, I want you to think of a number loudly, right? And I'll tell you the number you're thinking of, and I could probably get that right a couple of times. So like, okay, this is what telepathy feels like, just so you know, if I'm reaching out into your mind. Now you have a sense of what that experience is
All the
like.
numbers shockingly large too.
Sure,
These
yeah.
are not small numbers. Like you would think like single or maybe double digits at most, and
Sure.
Road's doing like 4 to 6 digits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like your most recent bank balances.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not most recent.
No, these are prices of things that he has purchased.
Well, yeah, I mean the last big bank
Right,
balances that you had before
Yeah.
we unbalanced. Okay, so now I'm going to try to sneak past your defenses
Mhm.
and find the thing you don't want me to find.
That is tucked away inside of the communication inside of his harrowing brain.
Oh, well, that's a 9.
All right.
Plus 0, though. So 9.
Yeah.
I don't have the move in front of me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
It was on your phone.
sorry.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was on my
sorry.
phone once upon a time.
Let me
Um,
see. I sent it to you.
Is it in Slack?
Maybe?
It seems like the most logical
That
place.
makes sense.
I don't have that. I should have printed out though.
Cut the movie.
I could have done it as well.
Oh, here it is. Brain talk. It's in text.
Oh.
On a 10 plus, they can understand you clearly and can reply for the rest of the scene. On a 7 to 9, you send them vague pictures or ideas and they cannot reply.
Cool.
Work with your GM to make this happen.
Okay.
And then 2 to 6, you push too hard, you get a splitting headache, and you're not able to use your gift with them for the rest of the scene. And then you take -1 trust and mark the
Okay.
condition.
So as a custom version of this, maybe I'm able to get 4 or 5 digits.
I think you see a box.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I think you get a box.
Like, oh, did you imagine this wooden inlaid box with this symbol
That's where the
From-
number's hidden.
Interesting. Okay. Well, this is a good start.
Mm.
I found the box, but I don't know what your number is.
So you're saying I did a good job.
You did. You did a very good job.
1 point to me then.
Yes. I would say you deserve a reward, but we have a time.
We have things to
element
do.
here.
Yes. Road, stop
We'll
flirting.
chalk it up. We will. That's why I owe you one.
Just quick. I have set up just outside.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not like right at the door, but like across the hall. I'm just standing there waiting.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we should probably.
We should go speak to the
So
others.
much to do.
What do you think of this hat? And he puts on just like the most ridiculous hat you've ever seen in your entire life, basically. It's like a tricorn.
Love it, but
Like a felt, brightly colored
I'm
tricorn.
not sure it's right for the occasion.
You're right.
And the rest of your outfit is just not there.
You're right. This is not very Felix tie. Fine.
Okay. We'll have a hat situation soon.
I should sell some of these. They're worth a lot of money.
Are they expensive?
Oh, darling.
Well, then this is a great cache of resources for us.
A collection of hats. Yeah, I think he takes a while to put away the hats while you get decent.
Yeah. Actually, like, put on pants. Yeah. Get dressed and probably, like you're sort of there's so many hats.
There's so many
Right?
hats.
I by the time I'm dressed, half the hats are put away. Like, okay, I'm gonna go see if I can find everyone and get a meeting together. And we did have 2 hats at the ready here.
Yeah,
in the
Kimmy was
studio.
ready, but I love hats.
Which way is a tricorn? You have a point towards the front? Okay.
Yeah.
You could wear it the other way. and just be
Bicorns go the
goofy,
other way.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting mocked.
I mean, bicorns can go either way, but one is aerodynamic and the other one is not.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, when you record a podcast next to a costume
Yeah.
storage closet, you just have to jump at
AKA
it sometimes.
Kimmy's closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Perfect.
So you finish getting ready. I'm gonna go see how everyone's faring, and then I open the door. And then,
On the hats, Lawrence.
No, very
No.
specifically not. It was a very small impact.
just shower.
We have a large problem.
Oh, can you elaborate? Like,
Road is coming at you with like a handkerchief.
Have
I
you?
like the idea of like I was setting foot out and you shot me in the knee.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah.
Like my leg crossed the threshold.
Right. Because I said not in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your shin. It's not in.
It froze.
Oh,
You're broken again.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Keep going.
Hey,
So,
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
yes. So we'll do our little dance.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, but you haven't told any of the rest of us about your newfound ability.
I don't think I have.
Okay. So I'm not going to. Looks like we're back.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yep.
All right. So, my warning isn't that then. My warning would be I fear that the Phagenian presence in the system is far greater than we thought.
Huh.
That was my concern with what Evodi had to say.
I spoke to Evodi, who has let me know that what's the term for like a flag officer in the Pyronan?
But I don't know what a flag officer is.
Like
a signalman.
no, like an admiral or a general or
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're very sort of like army based.
Okay.
And so
European
general
army.
is,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
general is probably the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there would be the equivalent to one of your field generals here in this system. At least one.
Shit.
I thought you were all the same.
No.
Oh, that's
Well,
worse.
they have to have some sort of echelon. But what would they be doing here?
Preparing? Readying an invasion for somewhere?
But this is just gathering resources here, isn't it? I mean,
Or manufacturing enough ships to start a new...
but wait, how many did Evody pick up on? Like a few dozen?
No.
A lot. He just
Oh,
said a
it
lot.
was like hundreds.
One
or
too
more.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I guess I had the impression that it was many presences, but I guess I hadn't understood that it might be thousands. My own, well, I guess I meant to tell everyone in a moment here, but Evody's helped me. I've realized my own. I have some telepathic potential myself.
What?
Yes.
Do you...
It's rare in my people,
Very.
and
Please don't. Please don't make yourself known.
I don't have a choice. I mean, I am what I am, and I will do my best to keep that under wraps.
Okay.
But it is a state of being that is true about me.
Do you know of
So-
any hats that could possibly just
I-
keep your thoughts in your own
I
head?
tried to talk to
No.
him.
I just think it's a good idea.
What is a good idea?
If anything comes knocking, pretend you're not home.
I understand.
Whatever the equivalent is. I don't understand how it works exactly, but don't let them see you.
Yes. I mean, the good news is I seem to have some substantial natural potential, which,
He found a box.
it's
It's complicated.
But that's the so out of character. I want to be clear that Alistair has a truly inflated sense of his ability
Yes.
as a telepath, right? Like
I think that's clear.
yeah, okay.
Mhm.
As a player, I get it. As
Yeah.
a character, you've never seen Lawrence look this upset.
Yeah.
Like,
Terrified.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps looking around like somebody might be on the ship, kind of. Like,
Okay.
a little bit flighty, like, doesn't know what to do with himself.
Well, I think we need to all meet as a group, and I think honestly we have to bring Evody in as much as possible as an ally at this point. Right?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. I almost forgot. Evody asked if would be possible to move back to the habitat.
Will the ship let them move through the halls?
How did we get them there in the first place?
We hacked a console.
I'm sure we could
It was a
probably
whole
do that with
series.
Nolvath up
Nolvath.
again.
Well, dying. Hacked a console.
We needed an Anaran to be able to move through the ship freely, and we didn't have an Anaran, and it was this whole slight. Like I only heard about it after the fact.
Let's do
but
it this way.
Sounds very complicated.
Despite all biting to the contrary, I trust Evody.
I don't see that Evody is trying to hurt us, and I tried to impress on the danger and urgency of the situation.
Well, let's do this. And already, like, as you two are talking, Road has pulled open his little cloud device and is starting to message everyone to meet at the bridge.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's go talk with everyone. Get all of our thoughts together amongst us
Before we include Evody?
before we include Evody, because I
Alright.
don't want to do it without Nolvath, because they frighten me just enough.
Nolvath frightens you?
Yes, and they don't like Evody.
I don't like Evody, but I think they're a valuable ally in this
Do
situation.
you want to be the one to tell Nolvath that we've invited Evody without warning?
Well, no.
Then we're going to go talk to Nolvath, and we're going to bring Jonas as well.
Yes. Here.
Thank you.
No, actually, it's yes, Captain.
Picks up the tricorn hat, plops it on his head.
You no longer have to maintain the captaincy ruse with Ivodi. They are well aware that we are more of a collective organization.
I just like calling him Captain.
No, feel
One
free.
day that line
I'm
will
not-
work. Fine.
Oh.
Yes, let's go.
I think Nolvath has been like nap, wake up,
Oh, okay, sure.
And I wanted to try and do a connect with Jonas,
Yeah.
if we can, because I have a lot of conditions that I need to get rid of.
Yeah.
So like one time when they're awake, they okay, we should probably explain what is happening. I believe my species, we evolve scientifically, not naturally at this point. And the reason that we send members of the Hive out into the universe is to bring advantageous DNA back so that we can better adapt. And I found mine. The Inarans have this amazing exoskeleton that still retains the color changing quality that we have. And in order to bring it back to the Hive, I have upgraded myself with it. So, we are not certain how it will manifest exactly, but within time, we should see some changes. This first 24-hour cycle, we will be very tired, but beyond that, we should return to normal.
There's kind of like a weird look on my face. I mean, just a comprehending, like I'm trying to comprehend this. And I look to you and I say, "Oh, evolution to us humans means something very different. Something that happens very gradually and over time. I suppose I expected the same for you. I didn't realize that it was something that could happen quite so quickly."
It wasn't always so. But on, what's the name of my planet? On Zalara, we often do not have the luxury of time waiting to become hardy enough to survive. So we have had to speed up the process, as it were. Many generations in order to get us to the point where we are adaptable enough to install new DNA.
I reach out, and has your skin started to change at this point?
I think you're starting to feel like it's a little bit more solid.
Yeah.
There's still give to it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a slightly different denseness.
Okay. When I put a hand on you and I feel that change, you see a little look wash over me, like almost a little bit downcast. And I say, actually, I ask, have you gone through changes like these before? Or is this the first time you have you've started this process of evolution?
This is the first time we, and they gestured to their body, have physically undergone the process. But we have the memories and experiences of millions of upgrades.
Oh,
So we knew what to expect.
well, I appreciate you letting me know now. I do have a question that I must ask you.
Of course.
Would it be all right if I enjoyed you as you are just one more time?
We would like that.
And I lean in, and I plant a kiss on your face, and it is still like a welcome feeling. It feels different, and you feel me hesitate, like not hesitate. I don't like full on like back away or anything, but there's a moment of surprise on my face when I feel your lips, and your lips have changed, but you're still you.
You can tell that they're happy that
Yeah.
you're okay with it.
And actually, once we kiss fully and I pull away, I'm gonna say, just to let you know, this may be a quick one. I think I do want to address the other things happening on the ship. If you are not feeling up for it, you can stay here.
We will be all right.
That's great news. And I dive in. Dive right in.
Nice.
This really is the love boat.
I think,
Yeah.
and the thing is, I think like when you wake up and I reach for you, I do feel like a difference, right? Like before you started explaining. So I think this was like, it was great that you kind of mentioned that you started like just walking me through the process. So yeah, I think the connect succeeds.
Awesome. Yay.
And I think I do believe that a truth was revealed, because I did not expect this at all. I was thinking, okay, you go in, you bring the DNA, you all collectively figure out how to deploy it, and then there you go, right? Takes a little bit of time. Did not expect it was like this soon.
Yep. Not shape-shifting version. Yay, fun. I think I'm gonna get rid of Afraid. That was kind of one of their big fears, is not being able to like find the hive again because they're so far away, or not being able to go back because they haven't accomplished their mission.
Yeah.
Well, it was a significant.
So you get to clear 2 conditions.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm condition free. And yeah, I think like when we're done, the thought that goes through my head is like, I can get more purchase. Not so slippery.
Non-slip
Hilarious.
surfaces.
And you see like that very, very pleased beaming look on my face. Okay, this is a great development. Not that before wasn't awesome, but like
No, but they think it's funny. They're like, they're glad you enjoyed the new quality.
And you'll notice like when we finally get together on the bridge, I think like Jonas is like beaming extra, is like just a little extra lively.
You look like you're practically skipping.
I can only thank my lucky stars that for every strange development that happens, or for every weird diversion that happens to us, there seems to be equal amount of beautiful things that happen to us too. And I grab your hand at that. I give your hand squeeze.
They make happy colors.
Aww.
And it's different because you're like your skin is
coming
different
through.
now too, right? Like it's
Yeah.
expressed a little differently.
Yeah, the color like texture looks a little
Yeah.
bit differently.
Yeah.
It looks a little kind of halfway between like what their normal skin looked like and how the Anarans like lights
Oh,
look.
yeah.
It looks a little
And I
bit more
assume
like
you've
that.
given us a little like rundown of the fact that you've like adapted some DNA.
No.
No.
Incorrectly.
Well, like, yeah, it is great to. Oh, what has?
Are you wearing something different?
Is it rude to ask? You look different, and I want to ask why, but I don't know if that's rude. I'm sorry.
No,
I will
Matt,
say this.
you look wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm
there
like
are,
looking at the ceiling, like I'm not supposed to look at you. Like,
I will turn to you and I'll say, Ranger, you better get used to it. Nolvath will surprise you in the most amazing of ways.
And sometimes in frightening ways.
I just kind of like,
Which
fair
one is
enough,
this?
you know?
you're well? Are you well?
Oh yes, we're quite well. We're not finished yet.
You're not.
With
With what?
What is happening, please?
A
Alistair may
shiver
not-
of intrigue down Jonas's spine.
I'm
A very clear shiver of intrigue.
Very sorry to inquire about your personage in this way, but I am too curious to be polite.
We appreciate that about you, Alistair. And they, because you don't know anything about their species, they
Yeah.
explain
Okay.
the whole thing to you, basically.
Of like adopting DNA
yeah.
and yeah.
And since the ship responds best to Inaran bodies, and the exoskeleton would be advantageous for the hive, we have decided to install it.
Fascinating.
Useful. I wish I could do that. Road looks at his arms that are wearing basically just like a semi-combat suit.
Your arms are perfect.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be super creepy for a second.
Yeah, that's great.
Forgive me. Lawrence is like immediately next to you going,
Yeah.
No, oh no, oh no, oh
New
no.
crab smell.
Oh no.
but like eyes closed, keeping it together. Like he went from being like paranoid and like jittery and freaked out to
Yeah.
being like,
That's a good smell.
I think once you get close enough, you get a warning growl,
okay.
just kind of like over their shoulder, and it is surprisingly scary.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Like much lower than your speaking voice.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Coming from a different
Just a
vocator
rumble,
within your
yeah.
body.
It's not a, like, I'm gonna attack. It's definitely a like, you're on thin ice.
Sure. And that's totally fair. I think Lawrence has the look of like a guy that's locked out of his favorite restaurant.
Oh.
Like he steps back, but
Why
he's
are they
very much like,
closed?
oh. But like he's having a hard time focusing.
Lawrence.
Oh,
Lawrence.
Yes.
Can I like snap my fingers at you?
Yes.
this gives us an idea. Should we need to have combat with any of your species, we could make a very distracting scent bomb.
Oh, that would be much nicer than the materials I've prepared.
Yours are quite deadly.
Yes.
I would also prefer that their attention was taken away from you.
Yes, elsewhere. Well, we
Is-
will not. Once the exoskeleton finishes, we will not.
Okay.
But to
The set
weaponize,
should be the
That was my concern.
weaponizing that pheromone would be a fantastic project. I'd
Exactly.
love to work on that with you.
What if we hatched more eggs?
not near Lawrence.
We don't need more
But we
mouths
collect-
to feed.
Yeah, Tavrock is
The egg juice.
mm,
Egg juice bomb.
I
That
don't
is-
think that's the right plan
Thank
right
you
now.
for putting that in the most repellent way possible.
yeah, Tavrock is plenty enough to handle, and I think we probably between Alistair and Nolvath, I think we'll be able to synthesize whatever we need.
We should wake more of the adults before we hatch the eggs anyway.
True.
I agree.
I would just be hatching them and taking the. What do you call it?
We owe it to them to have an early education system in place before hatching them.
Right. Infrastructure.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hey, look, I'm Pyronin. We need a bureaucracy, people.
Now hold on. So not exactly enjoying reading this message that was sent out. So Lawrence, can you fill us in on exactly what you found out?
Upon hearing the news that Evodi had discovered others that it could not access their thoughts, my concern is that there were more of my kind here than we expected. And so I went down while you were all engaged and spoke to Evodi, who informed me not only are there quite a few, but my concerns are much worse. That there is at least one and possibly more. Oh, had a good name in my head and I forgot it.
Oh.
Dang. Well, I'll stick with the general thing, like, field marshals. Here. The ones that coordinate our invasion attacks.
But there's nothing to invade here.
No, but presumably they're gathering or
It's a rallying
constructing.
field.
Marshalling a force.
Yes.
Right.
Also,
This could be the hub.
I mentioned this to Lawrence earlier, but I want you two to also know Evody helped unlock my own latent talent for telepathy. It is rare in our people, but it turns out I am gifted in this regard. So I, however, have a lot to learn in this field, so I just want you to understand that I am also, to some degree, a liability, as anyone with a new weapon or device might be needing training. So,
And to that end, we were thinking someone who is very adept at using such abilities, who's already given us plenty of reason to trust them, might be a good ally, Nolvath.
Which reasons to trust them?
They gave us forewarning that there's someone out there.
incredibly valuable intel. And I would like to say, Nolvath, I completely understand your misgivings, and that their initial interaction with you was
Bad.
threatening, and I understand why you feel that way, but I think ultimately they do not have the ability or even the inclination, from my understanding, to take the ship from you. And we actually could use their expertise, as they are a little bit better at telepathy than I am, and I have some room to learn, and I would like to make use of their talents, their abilities, and I think they will be more useful to us as an ally than as a prisoner.
We agree.
The next tricky part is they have asked to be remanded to the biodome again, rather than their current lodgings.
Remind me, Kimmy, is the biodome the same one that Tavrock goes in?
It was. It's pretty big.
Is there a different one he can hang out in?
There's the cow one. It seems like he wants to go to the one that he's.
No, I meant Tavrock.
Oh, the Tavrock. Probably. I can imagine that there would be other biodomes. Sure.
Yeah.
Like, also, Tavrock is familiar with the vent system now, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's not bad.
We did show him
Tavrock's
that.
like easy enough.
And spending a lot of time
at
in the
ease in the
school.
ship.
And spending a
Yeah,
lot of time in
yeah.
the school, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lasers.
Education is important.
Yes. Particularly early education.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm biased. Go.
You're right.
There's little in the biome that they would be able to use as a weapon. So, we do not see a problem with it. We are still wary of their motives, but you are correct. They have aided us, and their actions have been less hostile.
And they don't think I'm the captain.
They were able to figure that out.
Well, if they are a telepath, then
It's my first time with a telepath. Well, it's now my second time with a telepath.
I mean, it was more than a couple times, but I'm so sorry. I see what you mean. My mistake.
No.
Alistair, we would not recommend attempting to communicate telepathically with us until you become more experienced.
I see.
The hive mind is a little different than
I see.
what a single mind is.
So
Used to.
that's, I suppose that's a slightly different experience than the sort of telepathy that non-hive mind thinkers would be accustomed to.
Yes. Well, when we are connected to the hive, we experience all of our thoughts at once
I see.
and all of our experiences.
I imagine that would be, for me, similar to drinking from. We have these high pressure devices in our cities that we can connect hoses to help put out fires. And this is a lot of water comes out of it all at once. High pressure water.
Yes.
And there's a joke about trying to drink from it as if it were a water fountain.
I wouldn't. I also know where that water comes from.
Right, but the idea that it's so high pressure is sort of funny that you would try to drink
The
from
volume of water would
Right.
be more than you could drink.
it. Right.
Correct.
And I have to imagine maybe that metaphor would be similar to if I was to try to connect with you.
Correct. We are not currently connected to the hive, but we still experience more thoughts at once than you may be equipped for.
I appreciate the warning, and I will do my diligence, and I understand there are some techniques I can practice, but I also wanted to get your blessing before engaging with the devotee formally to ask them to help me learn this skill.
You have it.
Thank you.
Now, with all of that, both to put on a very good show and to figure out our plan, we should think about those scouting missions. Also, we should figure out if there's any junk from the ship that we want to give the locals.
Well, I did mention to Nolvath, perhaps not something so essential as part of the ship, but more the technology of their communication.
That seems... We're very good at many things, our people. We are not the most acutely communicative outside of our own people.
Well,
I think what they most likely want is the pods.
Some example of the technology.
Because if nothing else, they want to live even longer than they already do.
suppose. I mean, Nolvath, what do you think?
Well, it is not a weapon.
Could it be?
It would be difficult.
Yeah.
Anything can be a weapon if you believe in yourself properly.
That's wisely said. I wonder, I remember you saying something along the lines of the Phegenians, with the technology they had adapted, were looking at something simply in a three-dimensional space when really it should be a fifth-dimensional problem.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
I wonder if we were to give them a manual of instructions purely in a three-dimensional format, perhaps they would be led to the same conclusions that the Phegenians would, and we would have given them something valuable that they will have a long time.
But the end result
To
of that
figure it
is terrifying military prowess.
Well, the instructions could be for the cryopod.
Yes, that's what I mean. Is
Yes, I understand.
instructions that are missing some key components and the
Mhm.
explanation of a fifth dimensional perception.
It is fairly unlikely that even if we gave them the complete instructions, they would miss several of the layers.
And we have so many of them, it would honestly be like throwing away the garbage. We can give them a broken one. They didn't say it had to be working.
Well, ideally it would be a broken one, yes.
Oh, yes.
One of the failed ones, huh?
Yeah, not connected to the system anymore. I think it's barely useful.
Is there a time frame in which they expect
They needed
delivery?
They needed a number of days to amass. Oh, by the way, I asked them to get enough materials to terraform a small section of a world.
That sounds nice. Are we building a summer home?
I'm going to do it someday, so I may as well get a head start if they're going to give me everything for it.
Certainly.
Or perhaps a place for the Inarans.
I thought we had a map, like a spot that we were going to check out for the Inarans
We do. We have a couple options.
Okay. that wouldn't require terraforming.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is Rhodes' entire personality is terraforming, so.
But if we could, the closer something is to habitability that we could start with, then there's a very small terraforming requirement. That's nice.
Yes, it's more likely to have sapient life on it, though.
Oh, you want to live somewhere?
Why do you think that Pyronis 4 is in the middle of nowhere with volcanoes everywhere?
Some like it hot.
They're there because it's rich in resources, base elements.
It is,
And they're shaping the world into something beautiful.
Well-
And Pyronin enough for our people?
I've never been an economist. I leave these sort of decisions to you.
To that end, if we give them the cryopod, they're giving us everything we need for the ship, all the base materials that you asked for, and camping equipment.
All right, and I suppose if we hand over instructions that are slightly inscrutable, it might buy us some time.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah, we
okay.
just want to include the instructions for the instructions.
Precisely.
Yes.
Nolvath, you feel okay with that?
It is the least bad option.
And it seems to me the technology of this ship will leak out into the universe eventually.
I've sold parts from here before already.
Oh,
Perhaps don't mention that when we wake the other Inarans.
Oh, I won't. It was from well before they were ever awake.
excellent.
It was a salvage.
On a slightly different topic,
Weren't aware they were here.
I was thinking it might be difficult to move Evodi back to the biodome because we don't have an Anaran to escort them to the ship, but with your revelation today, Nolvath, perhaps we do have an Anaran who can move Evodi through the ship.
Yes, that was part of the idea.
Oh.
Not the Evodi part, but the ship part.
And now someone's going to go with you to move Evodi back into the biosphere, yes?
Oh, yes, we're not
I-
doing that
I
ourselves.
would like to accompany you on that, but we would need you to escort us through the ship.
Yes, of course.
I would volunteer, but I'm not suited for it.
I will not be accepting your help on this one. I'm sorry.
And Road, it's all right. There are two of us here who are, at the very least.
And one who would probably be very frightening to be nearby.
I believe I've come to an agreement with
Wonderful. I have some questions for you, Lawrence, while they're off traipsing about, unless you'd like to go with them.
Oh, I think Evodi will behave. If you need assistance, call.
I think we'll be fine.
I think
I
we can handle
agree.
We're
this.
doing this because we have established some trust with
Exactly.
them, and I have high hopes.
And at the very least, Nolvath, we can activate that security protocol if something happens.
Oh, yes.
Just run away.
Find a quick panel
Run
and hopefully
away.
activate it.
The
Just be
whole
ready.
hallway will lock.
So, is there a period of time where just the three of us are we're leaving, and you two are off to something else, right?
Yeah, or stand here and talk.
Yeah,
okay.
standing on the
Yeah,
bridge,
yeah.
doing
Okay.
something.
So, I wanted to do something for this walk and talk. Is that okay?
Mhm.
All right. Well, Lieutenant, I've been meaning to ask you for your help. There's so many things happening all at once. I don't know when we'll be able to do this.
I
But-
hear you.
It's my understanding that humans aspire to the litigiousness that my people really exemplify.
We have reached certain stages of that, for better or for ill.
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly humans have established a very functional bureaucracy, and it is admirable how much they've been able to accomplish.
I'm nodding like, sure. Yep. Okay. Fair.
But you have an understanding of legal frameworks that that I think would be more alien to someone like Nolvath, let's say.
Oh, yes. We do not need laws.
And I don't mean any sort of offense, just as a topic of conversation.
Yeah.
I don't take offense.
I look at you and I'll say, yeah, a good portion of humanity would envy that. But what exactly are you getting at here, Ranger?
Well, there is a phase of Pyronin courting that requires a barrister, which you're not exactly qualified to be, but we're not going to be meeting with one anytime soon. And I think, well, it would have to be established in the actual meeting, but my understanding is that Rode is also not particularly patient to put this off any longer. We need to negotiate the details of our contract. And it would be crass to have that conversation between just the two of us. Crass is the wrong word. Vulgar.
All right, I see what you're getting at here. And I pause for a second because I think like I mean, humans have had a history of, you know, emotions being boiled up in litigiousness, but I don't know, like, I don't think there's been this kind of level of formality. So this is pretty new to me. And when I finally kind of collect my thoughts, I say, well, you know me, I'm more of a flyer. But
I think you would understand the basic language of contracts. And
I'd like to think that I could at least know what sounds fair for both of you.
very good. And I apologize to impose on you with such a intimate, romantic interaction, but we would have to be at a table, the three of us, with our paperwork out for all of us to see. So I just don't want it to be a shock that there would be personal details in writing. and like you can't tell that I'm blushing probably, but
Yeah.
like I'm like my feathers are down. Like it's embarrassing to
Sure.
talk about this, right?
Can I make it worse?
Please make it worse.
Uh-huh.
Nolvath
connected?
has just been like listening for like a while, and they're like, the Pyronin courting habits are quite ornate. Precisely how extensive is this paperwork? Does it go into mating?
It is. There are components yes, there are clauses in the contract that involve expectations and hopes and yes.
All right, and
Fascinating.
just to be clear, so it is paperwork, not some sort of euphemism that's going to be
Oh,
that I
no.
need to like steal my resolve for.
Well, but I mean, the paperwork is so intimate and revealing that I wanted you to have some sense
Jonas
of
is sitting there worried that this is like a weird swinger
He's like, you're
thing.
gonna see my pedigree.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like, you know what? As a response to that, I will put my hand on your shoulder, and I will give your shoulder like a squeeze, and I'll say, Ranger, we have been through quite a lot. You, Roden, and I have been through quite a lot. And I had never seen him happier than when you finally made it official.
Thank you for saying that.
I will do whatever I can to the best of my ability. Though I may need a little bit of guidance.
I will send you the documents. Please treat them with the privacy and reverence that you would. I remember when you received a photo when we were in the field, and the others in your company gave you a hard time because they saw the photo on your device, and that this would be maybe equivalent. I wasn't familiar with the species that you got the photo from, but it was.
Listen,
apparently, you seemed embarrassed.
you know what? I have grown since then.
I see.
I have come to accept the fact that there were 12 pairs of hands, 50 different genitals, and at least 200 erogenous zones between the three of us in that photo. And it was a wonderful time.
I imagine that it was.
Wow.
But
That's some numbers. Those are good numbers.
thank you for agreeing to help me with this. I'm grateful.
I always got your back, Ranger.
And I think we're doing a connect.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel
Yeah.
like it includes Nolvath. Because it's so like I am picturing this as this extremely vulnerable moment.
Oh
of,
yeah.
like, I'm going to show you my paperwork, right? And since you and Nolvath, like, I don't expect you to keep secrets from Nolvath. That's wild, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm basically inviting the two of you to be party to this negotiation.
Oh yeah. They are delighted. They're like fascinated. Like, please tell me more about this paperwork.
Please witness our very bureaucratic courtship.
So I'm going to spend a trust. I have made myself vulnerable. And what? How do you?
How do you find?
Yeah.
I think I do feel like we grew closer. I am honored that you asked me.
Okay.
Let's see. Did you reveal? I think you did reveal a significant truth to just the earnestness that you were about like how intimate these documents are going to be.
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
Yeah.
Did not expect that at all. Which is why I had to ask.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so we can get
I'm gonna have to take measurements of bodies and stuff like that.
No. Nothing so vulgar. But there will be mention of shared bank accounts. Which is... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't be uncomfortable. It's
Quite all right. Don't worry, Alistair. We're on solid ground here.
okay. Okay. And Alistair is like fidgety and like, like adjusting his outfit.
I think as we resume our walk, we start like putting on like the air of security again.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Whew, okay.
I pull up my sidearm, I check the ammunition, put it back, slap it back into the holster, that kind of thing.
Tough guy stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Amazing.
Thank you, Alistair, for sharing that with us.
Thank you
fascinating.
for honoring the privacy of the moment. That's and this will be inviting Rode to this meeting will be a surprise for him, as is tradition. So I have arranged the barrister in this case, and then we'll invite Rode and ambush him.
I suppose I'm gonna have to get my dress uniform ready.
Oh, it would be appropriate for the occasion. Yes.
It's been a long time. You got it.
Yeah. Does Nolvath wear clothes?
Yes. It doesn't look like it though.
Okay.
They wear it's like a full body kind of like net.
Oh, that's right. I remember
Suit.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like nothing untoward is visible. Like you might not know anyway.
Yeah. I mean, what counts as untoward with a now, multi-DNA'd squid monster?
But they can't like camouflage if they're wearing stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you gotta be kind of de facto naked.
That's why Rode thought that they were wearing something different. Because they were just like, oh yeah, you just put like plates or something on your weird bodysuit. That's fine.
I think, too,
Accessorize.
when you mentioned that that it's going to be a surprise, I exchange a look with you like, oh, it's gonna be fun.
They are delighted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll prepare a table and we'll have the right pens. I do have something special for the occasion, so that's.
Oh.
I'm actually surprised I had this with me. I had to go through my. But you don't care about this.
No, so use whatever facility you need. If you need me to clear anything out, I'm happy to do that for you.
What I think maybe we'll just.
Do you want to, dim the lights?
Well, no, we wouldn't be able to read the documents.
Get behind some pieces of furniture so that when Rode walks in, we can write proper.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean that. No, that's not that sort of surprise. That's. Like,
Got
it's
it.
kind of horrifying, right? I'm like, oh no, I've given you the wrong idea. No. Well, it'll be much more sedate. Is the goal. Although, food, tea, something would be appropriate. I'll have to think about what to do with that.
Well, listen, you've got a lot to worry about. Let me take a shot at that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to, be able to contribute a little more than my presence and observations, I suppose.
Yeah, and I should make it clear too, for this occasion, I wouldn't be inviting other members of the crew. It's already very sort of exposed and, well, frankly, embarrassing to have this conversation in this way. Later, the actual ceremonies and oaths to be made would be, the signing of the contracts would be more familial exercise. But this, normally, we would go to the barrister's office, and there would be the proper blinds, and the staff would leave, and there's a way to do these things, and I don't know when we'll be able to do it properly, and I'd rather be brash and forward and get this done now.
Sometimes you don't really realize how many shots you get at these kinds of things. So yeah, I
Agree.
highly recommend.
I agree.
And as we walk,
Yeah.
you know, Nolvath, I'll lean towards you and I'll whisper in your ear. Actually, is this an occasion to maybe like take out one of them cows?
Take them out where?
Perhaps
That's
for
all right. This is between you two.
perhaps for the ceremony.
Don't bring a cow to our ceremony.
I was thinking of like spitting, roasting a cow.
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing.
I was with you.
Not just this is my +1.
Yeah. Nolvath,
Take him out
I'm riding
to
in
a
on
wedding.
this. Yeah. Y'all Bessie.
Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot one other thing I have to bring up. Sorry to monopolize this. All right, so I'm going to send you two versions of the potential contract, and I need to explain a little bit of context here. I assume you don't know about the Pyronan Centurions.
I don't know.
Yes, of course. This wouldn't make sense. But a romantic contract would last 100 years. That's a long promise. And many will redo their contract in 100 years, but plenty of people who stay married for hundreds of years do the normal 50-year contract. But in a lot of love songs, it's the 100-year contract.
And then you extend contractual period.
Yeah, if you're
You
so
enrolled
inclined.
forevermore.
Yes. However, that's one version is the 100-year contract, because I feel please don't be embarrassed, but I have very strong feelings about Road and hopes for our future. Which means I have included another version of the contract. I in fact have drawn up both versions on the bit of bark I was able to create. Please don't laugh. You know we're a long-lived species. In our most extravagant love stories, there is the 1,000-year contract, which I have drawn up. I want your opinion. Whether you think, if I offer this contract and Road is not amenable to a millennium together, it would be inappropriate to then offer a shorter contract. It's sort of, it's like a gamble, right? Or an auction. You put in what, and if a lesser amount would be
No, I
insulting.
hear you.
And I don't know whether I should go with a regular romantic gesture or a grand romantic gesture.
Now, that is a question that I'm not going to be able to answer for you now. I think I will want,
Give it some thought.
yeah,
I could
just at
Use your opinion.
least a moment to look these contracts over,
Of course.
or these documents over. All right, well, send them. And I will give you, hopefully, what would be some decent advice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then we originally,
Yeah, back to
yeah.
Good sports.
Sports gun.
Yeah.
happily
Yeah.
eavesdropping the whole way.
Yeah.
Getting into like Evody mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This was a very good distraction on the way. They're not just about seeing a Vody, but
No.
they are delighted to hear your secrets.
Yeah.
We've been to a voting.
My favorite hat.
The squid hat.
Obsessed.
I'm so excited.
The squid hat.
Emperor Pope.
It was $10. It's the best
I-
$10 I've ever
yeah.
spent in my life.
You did very
It's
well.
only $10.
Yeah.
That was a good $10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
assumed 20, and it's still a good buy.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
$10.
Best-
and
best,
also,
like-
it's delighted my toddler for like weeks.
Excellent.
I am now your toddler as well.
Yes.
I am delighted.
And by your
He has very
toddler,
good
you
taste.
mean everyone at this table.
Yeah. All right.
They just need to add a little mechanism that shoots needles from the ends of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good for
I
toddlers.
was gonna try
Or
and
put Nerf
add
guns
more
in it.
eyes.
I mean,
but I
oh,
did
You need
not
them to
have
go to
Just
sleep.
do copy paste.
that. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, costume copy paste. That would
Oh,
be so
right.
good.
I wish.
Right?
Oh, I've been meaning to talk to you. Never
No,
mind.
no.
Later.
I had an idea.
Okay. Go.
Voti. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh,
Shaving a haircut on the door.
I am aware of your presence. You do not need to knock. You're quite loud.
The knocking. Oh, I'm going to try to communicate telepathic.
Okay, roll.
Oh.
Nosebleed.
May I roll
Yes,
in here?
please roll in the tray.
Well,
Nosebleed.
so it's pretty good. It is a 5.
Okay.
Plus my stat is 5.
It's a 5.
beautiful.
So
So you,
basically a professional.
I've got your back.
oh, okay.
I see you kind of like. I see a
I
look
touch
on
my
your face.
temple.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
this.
Professor X.
Yeah, yeah,
This
sure.
is what
And
you
I kind
do.
of see a look on your face that
Brow
says,
furrows.
yeah, that says, okay, like, just kind of field training kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay, something is not quite right. And I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder
Mhm.
and give you that same squeeze
Oh yeah.
that I gave you last time.
Okay.
Saying, like, you're not alone. You can do this.
Yeah.
We're here with you.
Oh,
And I'm replacing what number?
I have a 2
A
as
2?
my lowest
Okay.
die.
So I'm spending 1 trust. I rolled a 2.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a
So
beautiful
you're
failure.
wrapped up in this too now. That makes it so much better. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
a
you're right
professional.
now.
That makes it so much better.
So, shall I read the 6 minus
Oh,
situation?
yeah, you can. I know what it is, but yes.
Well, for the audience.
Yes.
Oh, that's. Why didn't I just save it? There it is. Okay. On a 2 to 6, you push too hard. They get a splitting headache, and you are not able to use your gifts for the rest of the session. You mean scene or session?
Session.
Okay.
Was it with them or with anyone?
Like for the session.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
You blew
Okay.
yourself
And
out.
it's-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna
Hold
modify
on,
this.
I'm not done reading.
Oh,
Take -1 trust, and you both mark a condition.
yes.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Wager trust.
Hey,
I'm
my
going
trust finally
to
came down from 5. I'm only respected now.
Yeah.
Lose an extra trust.
Yeah. So you lose 2.
I lose 2.
Yeah.
Now, also, let's see.
Oh, and a condition.
Because I got your back and we failed. We mark XP. I mark a condition, so I'm marking 2 conditions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mark reckless.
No,
'Cause
this is a little
it's
reckless.
savvy for this. So yeah, I like rolling a savvy condition.
Yeah, that makes sense. So kind of what happens, just like narratively, is you reach out and you hit like this solid obsidian / like steel
Yeah,
like wall, and you
with my cardboard sword.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you're like basically your communication is kind of flung back and it hits Jonas.
Oh no.
And like it's almost like it was like slingshot back almost as a weapon.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing tennis
Not
and you
even
hit
on
it.
Purpose.
Yeah.
like, blink.
No, exactly. Like when you play tennis against a wall and the wall doesn't mean to hit the ball back at you so it like smacks you in the face.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. So basically you like come like charging at the wall like, hey, I've got a thing to say to you. And it gets thrown
Yeah.
back at poor Jonas, who has no like telepathic blocking at all.
Right.
So you're both kind of like, sure. And you both have headaches and you're both kind of just like,
I'm too
oh.
strong.
I like this takeaway.
That's what it is.
You know what? So I marked reckless. I was going to mark afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
You don't have to mark 2 conditions, do you?
I do.
Yeah,
I
because
do.
got your back.
I do.
Oh, got your back marks
Yeah.
a condition?
Yep.
I
If
thought
you
it-
fail.
if I fail.
If
I
they
fail,
don't
yeah,
know.
no.
Yeah.
So I'm marking reckless.
Mistakes.
I don't realize that it was feedback.
Yeah.
I think it's a voting.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to mark
Love
angry,
this.
and I'm going to blow out. I'm going to crash brains.
Oh, no.
We're doing great. I'm glad you were there.
This is fine.
And
Everything's
I
fine.
clutch my head. I kind of swoon back, you know. And my hand, like once I'm clear, like my hand goes down to my pistol, but I am still like I can't, like I don't have it in me still mentally to be able to wield it.
Yeah.
I think Nolvath comes over and puts their hands on you and, are you all right?
Yeah, I think we're both stumbling back, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh.
What happened?
God, something's in my head. I look up at you, Evody, and I look up and you kind of see like.
I don't think
You
you
see my-
opened the
No,
door
this
yet.
one-
Oh, you
No,
haven't
we haven't
opened
opened
the
the
door already. And
I
then,
was gonna talk to them through the door.
God, damn it! I've never felt anything like this in my life. I think Evody's trying to get into my brain.
No, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
What?
What?
I have it's uncontrolled power that I haven't learned to control properly. I apologize. Oh, my head.
My grip loosens a little bit on my pistol because I have to take my hand and like put it back up against the wall and lean for a little bit, stroking my temples.
I'm sorry. I will be more careful in the future. That was very reckless of me.
Dear God,
Ah.
Alistair. Oh my God, we cannot let Evody see us like this.
That hurts so bad. Evody already knows what happens.
We are certain they are aware.
Oh God.
Like there's this weird cackling noise coming from inside. It sounds like when a cat is choking
Yeah.
or hairballing. Yeah, but you're you know it's a booty laugh.
Okay, I start kind of freaking out at this, and you start hearing me mumble like a little song in my head. You know, if you want to destroy my sweater.
Oh.
The most like meaningless lyrics that I can think
Yeah.
of, and I kind of just keep that going throughout, like, you know, just whatever little.
Nolvath does like a soothing color palette for you to try to like calm you down.
Okay, all right, and I, you know what? Like once I'm done, once I kind of get myself to that point, I am gonna put a hand on yours. Like I'm gonna put a hand on your arm and just kind of let you know that I appreciate what you're doing, that I'm there with you, and I know you're there with me.
We should take a few moments until you feel well to complete our task.
Yeah, I think I need to go get a drink of water or something.
Yeah, I've got like a little bloody nose. It's not like gushing, but it's just like,
The 11 trickle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Tasteful single drop of.
like trying to pop my ears, like something's, yeah.
I don't know who wants to do the talking because I don't think I'm quite up for it, but somebody just let Evody know that we're gonna be in there in a minute. We're gonna see to them in a minute.
They may already know. Evody, we have come to move you to the biome and hit a slight snag. There will be a small delay, but you will be on your way soon.
And that's what it looks like they do. They're like flicking their little arms.
This is they're rejoicing. They're rejoicing. Look at them.
Amazing.
We'll be ready to go soon. Because I have so much to pack.
Poor Evody.
Please do not strain yourself.
Restraints.
All right.
Okay.
I jam like a tissue up my nostril. Like, not okay. That's gonna work.
Would you like me to help?
With what? I'm like I'm like looking through one eye at a time.
Like, if you could see it, like, there's almost like a face palm, like, So, like, they reach out. You feel like this little, like, pop, pop in your head. And, like, both of your headaches go away.
Oh.
Like, immediately.
Whoa.
And it
my
just feels
goodness.
like
Oh.
someone came and put, like, I don't know, some sort of, like, healing salve on your brain. It just feels better.
I was already like walking away
Yeah.
to get a drink of water, to grab a canteen or something, and that happens, and I snap to lucidity. I turn around at you and look at you. You look you in the eye, Alistair, and I don't say anything, but there's a look in my eye like, is this something we should be worried about?
That's okay. Evody, thank you.
Thank you.
This is.
Your pain was very loud.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know my own strength yet.
Pointed silence.
Unblinking stare of the many squid eyes are expressionless in this moment, and yet hold so much expression.
That can be interpreted either way.
Yeah.
They are trying really hard to be polite.
So I'm not gonna get that, but maybe somebody else wants to roll to see if they get that implication. I'm like still trying to refocus my eyes.
Yeah,
Like, the pain is gone, which is great, but just very disoriented.
Yes.
While they're attempting to regroup their brains, I would like to tell the computer in advance where we're taking
Devotee.
Devotee,
Okay.
yes.
You can do that. You don't have to, Ed, you don't have to.
Okay. Just like
We're
path to
walking
the
down this
biome.
path.
There's gonna be wait, what was their species again?
Ydirin.
There's gonna be a Ydirin. So it
Darian on the deck.
Ydirin transfer protocol is enabled. They seem very happy. There's like little squid movements, like happy squid movement.
Okay.
My poor showing notwithstanding, I was hoping to ask you perhaps for some formal training in this regard.
Yes, I would be glad to.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge relief.
Instruct you. It has come to my attention that there are some dangerous beings in the system.
Yes, there are.
You should perhaps refrain from using your gifts
Well,
until we know more about your strength,
certainly, I wouldn't want to harm anyone. And yes,
or give your location away.
yes, obviously.
They would murder your friends
Yes, I
terribly.
will trust your tutelage in this regard.
Terribly.
Yes.
Thank you for returning me to my home. I am grateful for your kindness.
So yeah, we open the door and we kind of start traveling over.
Mhm.
Yeah, get to the biome.
Sorry, I realize it's heart that I'm supposed to roll, not savvy, but they're both zeros.
They're both
so
serious,
it's-
yeah.
So Nolvath will lead the way, and assuming there's no problems with the ship systems.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Programmed it correctly.
Did we move Tavrock out already?
Yeah, Tavrock's at school.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Cool.
It's getting the learning done.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Devotee's like skin kind of changes slightly and gets like the pleasant, excited, happy colors. They're a little bit more like muted tones than you see in like Nolvath and stuff like that. But similar. And no, you would definitely be able to read it, Nolvath.
Mm-hmm.
And they go and they're like, oh, and then like when they get near like the water, they like just walk straight into the water.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sure.
And they just like are underwater.
All you see is the head.
Catabox.
Yeah.
It's a head for no.
I know, but I'm
Okay.
saying like that's all you see is sticking out of the water.
The
Top of the squid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's great about this hat, by the way, Kimmy? You know how usually like we're like this, and I can't see your eyes past
so you
the
can-
camera. I can see both of them. Right?
the big.
Perfect.
You are like
the most important eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this hat.
Yeah.
And you know what? When we get there, I will. I'll offer a bit of courtesy to Evody, and I'll say, now I know that you have been here. You've been here for quite some time. Are you provisioned? You have what you need for sustenance.
I am able to live here, yes.
All right. We can include you in the meal rotations as well, if you would prefer.
Not in that way. Bring you food.
Oh, thank you.
And invite you to eat with us.
I'm sorry, but you are quite loud sometimes about the calamari in your brain. And I try to mind my own business, but your thoughts are all so loud all the time.
I apologize. It is a human delicacy. I will do my best to think of other things.
I understand that we all have our food chains. But yes, thank you for specifying. They kind of like glance over at Lawrence.
Lord,
I'm not-
hey, we're hanging out.
If I had been there, I would have lost my damn shit with psychic backfire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's true.
Ooh.
No need to bring that up later.
Nope, it'll be fine.
Babe, why do you have toilet paper up your nose?
I would consider an invitation, but I am still ill at ease with your crew, if that makes any logical sense to you.
It makes absolute sense. If you want us to bring you anything, I suppose you know how to get in touch with us. But I will check in with you too when I prepare the meals, if you would like to partake.
Thank you. That is very generous. Try and keep your friend from thinking too loudly. Are you still there?
Probably.
Okay.
But Evodi's not minded insulting me in the past.
See your face.
Yeah.
This is like the more people who know,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And your large-toothed friend
Mhm.
is truly terrified.
That I find unsettling. You know what? Actually, when Evodi mentions that, like the first thoughts that come into my head are the Phogenian, you know, kind of atrocities that I've seen and encountered, or like the after effects of those, both. And you know, obviously, like my first thought is if Lawrence is afraid of something, that's serious business. That is significant.
Mhm.
And so if Evodi is like even doing anything like scanning my surface thoughts, that's what they're getting.
Okay, you see kind of like them like kind of pull back. Because they've had like small skirmishes between the things on their planet, but it doesn't seem like they've ever had like full out war or like interplanetary like invasion type war of any type.
Like large scale.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be something they are familiar with, and they just kind of like kind of shrink back in horror at like the people in my way.
Mhm.
You are enemies with your friend's people, but you care for your friend.
There's one thing that I've learned is that I'm gonna try to find the eyes, like a good set of eyes to look at, you know, at Evodi, and I'll say, no culture, no race, no species is ever a monolith. There are always the good and the bad, and those in between. We have one of the good ones here. And I kind of raise an eyebrow at Evodi, basically signaling like, I hope that it's the same with you.
Mm-hmm. They seem like sort of baffled. Like you don't really, there's not a lot of facial expression,
Yeah.
but you see on their tentacles kind of like weird little twitchy, hesitant movements. And it's sort of like a concept that they hadn't really thought of. Especially coming from like an aquatic fish species. It's probably like they school together, things like that. Like it's a very different
Yeah.
concept than like what they're used
I
to.
assume Jonas is fluent in tentacle body language.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
Getting there, yeah.
More like reading it, not so much,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
the nuances, but yeah.
Yeah, it gets awkward with human limbs to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. There's much to learn about land dwellers. Your brain functions are loud and very different, but not unwise always. Looks over at Alistair. Looks away. Not always.
I just give like a little nod of agreement. And then, like, actually, I'll turn to you, Nolvath, and I'll say, is there anything else we need to do to prepare the ship for these new circumstances?
No. The ship is prepared for this circumstance. We will instruct the computer. We have a question, though. Are our thoughts loud to you?
No. You are... It's hard to describe. You are... quiet, but not silent. You are whispers that are hard to understand.
That makes sense.
Yes. You do get louder when you're with the human. Your thoughts. We try very hard not to listen. We try very hard. Glances awkwardly at the Pyronans.
Oh, this one's not here, so it's jumping out.
Yeah.
I don't suppose there's... Somebody was asking whether there is a hat or head covering that would help resist. My understanding is that there isn't anything that would help dampen a telepathic signal.
A large amount of distance.
Distance, yes.
Yes.
But other than that, there's no sort of material one could wrap around their head.
Not that I am aware of.
I did not think so.
If we wrap something tightly enough to cease life functions, that would...
Or consciousness, at least.
Yes, that generally makes someone a bit quieter, although sometimes then they dream, which is also
Oh.
sometimes awkward. But we do our best to avoid such things.
When should I come for lessons?
We should... I will have to speak with your friend to learn more about the risks of such lessons and what they pose.
Perhaps not while we're in this system.
I will have to learn more. It may be possible that I am able to shield us from the dangers he is worried of.
I see.
Could your lessons focus on Alistair's ability to shield himself in the meantime?
It is... Have you been near young ones?
Yes?
Yes, young ones often, when they are learning to swim or walk, try to do one thing and end up doing something very different and injuring themselves or others.
Yes.
This is my concern.
Yes, I'm afraid I injured Jonas.
Yes. Yes, that was definitely it.
I'm
yes.
sorry.
So my worry would be in teaching defense, he might grow too loud and draw attention.
That makes sense.
But it may be possible that pausing, there isn't that risk if there isn't enough strength there.
Nolvath understands what
Yes.
they're trying to say.
Many eyes looking at Nolvath.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm too strong. That's the problem.
They flash a I get it.
This is where I get to use my -1 brain.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
instead you get a, oh, thank God, flashback. Like, you get the flash of, he might stumble and hurt himself
Yeah.
and yell out telepathically and draw problems. Or he could do nothing because he's not strong enough.
Yeah.
Mainly the first problem.
Yeah.
But I must know more of these potential dangers before I am able to make a educated choice about that.
Certainly.
I understand. Well, let me know when you think it would be prudent to continue. I am willing to work at whatever pace you assign.
Excellent. I appreciate that.
And whatever they have that out of character, right? Like whatever impression they have of Alistair, he's like 1,000% sincere and throws himself into whatever he's studying.
Yeah.
He has to because he has -1 brains. So
Awesome.
he has to work very hard.
Yes.
But will, right? Like that's the thing, is he'll work very hard to learn a new skill. So.
Yes. Very good. But yes, if I am able to speak with your companion with the teeth,
We will,
Lawrence.
we will ask Lawrence to visit you.
Yes. They kind of shiver a little bit, but yes, that would be helpful. I am not able to reach out and ask questions to
Okay.
that one.
Are you comfortable meeting with Lawrence one-on-one, or would you like someone to be here?
I have spoken with Lawrence already, as just the two of us.
All right.
I was very civil.
We didn't bite anybody.
0 biting.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you needed?
No.
You see them kind of do like a little
Bye.
I mean, they can still talk with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not
Half
me.
of this conversation has happened with them like underwater. So
Well, they can talk with you. You can't talk with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say anything back.
Okay. And I suppose we just head out of the biome. As we're walking out, it's a thing. If you want to destroy my sweater. Just a little undercurrent of that.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Everybody on the ship goes, whoa,
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 whoa. No.
whoa. What?
I don't know why I felt like doing that. After a while, after they've been gone, mostly Rode is sitting, kind of like waiting, like almost watching you, Lawrence, honestly,
Okay.
Where are you two sitting?
on the bridge.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think it goes through a period of like the vibe that Lawrence is giving off is like nervous actor going in for an audition,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
right?
Okay.
Like sits in a chair for a minute, stands up, walks around, sits in a different chair, gets
Bouncy
up.
leg.
Yeah.
What
That-
are you looking for?
I don't know. I'm looking.
You've changed seats 4 times.
I am profoundly uncomfortable.
Well, all of these seats are very uncomfortable, so there's that. Whoever did the upholstery should be shot.
Well, they had shelves.
It's a non-lethal shooting.
But in all honesty, I don't want to lose who I am.
What is the risk of that happening?
I mentioned that there are field marshals
Yes.
here. They are the ones that lead our planetary assaults. And by lead, I don't mean riding on a horse in front of an army. I mean, they direct us to do things,
Oh,
and we do them.
I'm assuming, given the context here, that it's not via communications device.
No. And he like reaches into a little pouch and he pulls out a piece of flexible plastic or something that he has written on. And he'll walk over and he'll hand it to you.
What's this?
It's the method to lock down my suit. If I start to do something uncharacteristic or against the interests of the ship, I need you to use that.
I will.
It doesn't feel good.
I should imagine not. I'm assuming that this restrains you within your own
Oh, no.
clothing.
I was talking about if one of them knows that I'm here and tries to do something about it. It's like riding along as a backseat passenger in your own body.
Dreadful. Oof, absolutely not.
And if one of them was in the room, they could use me like a puppet.
This is what I wanted to talk with you about. Not the depth of that. That's absolutely horrendous. And Lawrence, if we end up in a room with one of them, we have much bigger problems. But
I agree.
when I run, you may run with me, and I will think nothing less of you. You are the most paranoid person I've ever met, and that is a compliment.
Well, thank you.
I can only aspire to a portion of your skills and your craft. I understand having the looming, and Road looks out of the bridge viewport into the wider dark galaxy. The presence of your people, potentially, must be very upsetting. I
Yes.
believe in your capability of security. If there is any way that I could... Admittedly, I really hope that there was a hat. But if there is anything that I could do to keep us safer, I will do it.
I've never heard of one of them able to control another from an opponent species.
Well, that's good.
I would assume that that is not something that they can do.
We're very different.
They can probably scream into your mind and disorient you. Like being in a room with a speaker that's emitting a sound you can't hear at a very high volume.
Huh.
I would make you uncomfortable, dizzy, disoriented, things like that. But I
Yes.
don't think that they can exert will. Now, they might be able to read thoughts like Evodi can. And my only advice is to practice as much as you can to confuse them.
Yes, I was doing that earlier. You've inspired a very devious thought. We have a very large ship. I'm assuming we can emit quite a broad array of communication.
I'd assume so.
Do you think there's a way to startle them out of their hiding places? Using something like that crushing, ambient, silent sound.
If we flooded all of the channels they use with
And we have that
noise that
ticking
it would provoke a response of some kind.
I've never seen you on your back foot. I would like you to go forward again.
Let me see what I can come up with. Yes. I'm sure we could do something. And if we lured them out, we can use Tavrock's laser.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
But I've meant what I've said before. This ship is all I have. You interesting group of people are the closest I have to, I think, what most species would consider a family.
I understand. I understand that feeling.
And I would personally bite the throat of someone who came after you. It would be less effective, but I would try.
Well, I appreciate that. And know that I've said before, but I will do anything in my power to stop harm coming to this ship or crew.
Well, curious what machinations we come up with.
Road bites my neck all the time. It's not
That's
scary.
different. That's fun biting.
I didn't know it was a connect though.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
From which side?
Yeah, who started the
Road definitely
started it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lawrence revealed so much vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's part of it. Like,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah. So you get to CADave. You obviously you connected.
Absolutely.
And do you think a significant truth was revealed?
I think so.
Okay, there you go.
Actually,
All right. So you get to clear conditions and earn a trust. So good job. All right. Lawrence, Evody wanted to talk with you.
Aha. I'll head down there then.
Is it all right if I call you Lawrence?
Yes. That is my preferred name.
Please come in and shut the door behind you.
All right.
where does
Biodome.
It's a giant like, airlock.
Oh, that's right.
biodome.
Oh, I forgot. We moved,
But of course, I
no,
would
we
do
moved
that.
to the biodome. I forgot about
It's
that.
very funny
Yeah.
that please come into my office. Giant.
I thought you were
forest of
saying like,
trees.
please come into the lake.
No,
And I was
I
like,
apologize.
Okay.
this seems like a bad
I was
idea.
still thinking about your last scene, and I forgot that
Sure,
Evody
no,
actually
no.
got what they wanted.
It's so
It's all
funny.
good. It's all good.
So it seems that we have. They like you think for a moment, and like you are kind of aware to like telepathic things. You suddenly hear like it's like you're suddenly in a silent like a dome. There's
Okay.
no other thoughts or anything coming around. It seems that your crew is very open to negotiations. And it seems that you would do anything to help.
Yes.
Well, for some time now, I have been shielding you, specifically, and the others from what you know is out there. In return, I have some requests for the continued service of protecting you from those that, well, are very loudly barking orders that I don't think you could resist.
Yes.
So I would like to negotiate with you and ask that you keep it private. I don't know if your crewmates would understand.
I see. What is it that you're looking for?
Well, it's really a very reasonable list. I'm going to stop right there today.
No!
Perfect. I love it.
All right. So, yay for us getting through.
We did it.
We did.
So, thank you so much for watching later because we weren't able to stream. So, thank you for tuning in and checking this out. I'd like to thank our chat mod, James V, who is amazing. Oh,
Personal director.
personal director!
Remember that
Yes,
one, John?
I even thought about that before, and then I got like, wait, I forgot about the bio. Okay. I'm very, like, yeah. Okay. All right, personal directives. Who reached their personal directives?
I don't know.
Oh,
I wrote,
Every week we have to, like, design.
we have to litigate the.
Yeah.
I wrote trained
very clear-roaded
telepathy,
of
which
him.
I thought was a
Yep,
straightforward
not
goal.
done that yet. No.
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 Okay.
Ask Road to deal with me if I lose control.
Ooh, nice.
Very
Which I
fast.
wrote before this was as soon as I found out about
Mhm.
the generals in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have very cross-purpose personal directives.
Cool.
Reconnect with Nolvath.
Okay. Nice. Oh, well, you
Yeah.
can save it for next time.
Yeah.
Different.
Talk to Lawrence about security.
There you go.
Like we planned it.
Yep. And then, no, that you did. Okay. Perfect. Very nice. Well, if you met yours, you please write a new one. If you didn't, you can save it for next time or make a new one if you want to. I do want you to have training lessons and stuff like that, but I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure failing horribly does not count as training.
No. it does not.
Basically in front of them,
Yeah.
too.
And I
Yeah.
already got XP for failing, which just feels like double dipping, so that's fine.
All right. Perfect. All right. Thank you to our chat mod, James V. You are amazing. You rock. Thank you for hanging in there while we were streaming. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who could keep us ad-free and independent because of you were able to play fun games that we love instead of worrying about ad money and sponsorships. My name is Kimi, she, her. I am the GM of this game and the creator of the system. You can find it at goldenlassogames.com as well as the other games I make. And I also run the Happy Jacks RPG Network. You can find everything at happyjacks.org. Let's go ahead and start on this side.
Hi everybody. Once again, I'm CADave. And yeah, terrified. But you can find me elsewhere on the internet at CA Sith Lord. The dapper squid.
This is even better. I love this.
We frequently criticize putting a hat on a hat, but this is the right move.
This is
That's basically a head,
Yeah.
not a
Party
hat.
of Odie. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a scarf.
Squidderton.
Immediately, I'm getting put on the Ritz
Yes.
Yeah.
with squid tap dancing feet. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
All right. But you can find me everywhere at CA Sith Lord. And you can find me tomorrow night, 6 o'clock-ish hour. I'll be back on streaming Star Trucker to continue to try and make some money and get out of the little bit of a hole I got myself into by choosing. I didn't actually go into negative money, but
Okay.
I just lost momentum because I chose a mission that I thought, oh yeah, okay, that's not that bad to get over there.
Expires in 5 minutes.
Right, but I thought it meant like pick up the cargo in 5 minutes, not deliver it 4 systems away in 5 minutes. It was a choice. Things happened, but and then I keep running into things, just cause.
Crashing.
Yeah, just
They come out of nowhere.
well, the
Sometimes.
big one wasn't my fault. I will say that guy was drunk.
All right, let's
but it's
continue
okay.
with our incident again.
Yeah. So that's it for me. I'll be back, ready to be Lawrence again at a moment's notice.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jay, and I have been Jonas. You can find me at Transplant Asian on Instagram and at JAfrica, pretty much anywhere else. Let's see. I just released a new D&D adventure called Encounters in Stormwreck Isle. It is a sequel to the starter set adventure, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, and it was part of the Roll20/DTRPG Next Adventure Game Jam, where a bunch of us adventure writers wrote sequels, direct sequels to various system starter sets like D&D and BattleTech and Call of Cthulhu and I think a bunch of there were some Tales of the Loop, Tales from the Loop games written.
Cool.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out on just search for The Next Adventure on either the DM's Guild or DTRPG, Drive Through RPG, and you'll find Encounters at Stormwreck Isle there. I've got a few more adventures that are going to be that are down, coming down the line in a couple of weeks this month. But also, you can catch me in a short Candela Obscura series, actual play, on the Rolling Until Ragnarok YouTube channel. We're doing a 3-episode, or we did a 3-episode series, AP for October. It's a lot of fun, and I have never. Those was my first time playing Candela Obscura, so it was awesome learning the new system. If you're curious about it, check out the actual play and see us put it through its kind of kick the tires on the system.
Ooh.
Awesome. I'm Jason. You can find me on the internet at It's Probably Okay, Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky. And I stream quite a bit on my channel. I like to play games that are hard and I die a lot. I don't know why I'm like this, but I am. So if you want to see somebody turn a game up to maximum difficulty and just hit their head against a brick wall, come hang out. It's fun.
Oh my god.
I promise. I also do some game design streams and whatever sort of mix of things. It's kind of a variety stream, but I hope I hope to see you there.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. You can find me all over the internet as the Style of Imladris. You can find me tomorrow telling another excitingly weird space story on But Then What on Autumn Moon Studios, which is an entirely systemless, just round robin story with Mystic, their main producer, and my buddy Super Dylan. It's a really good time. We're in space. There's cows in that one too. Come check that out. And then
Cows in space.
there's cows in space in that one. I didn't
space travel.
can't make this up. It just happens. And then you can find me on Saturday. I'm so excited for the interlude episode for the Chaos Protocol. We have been off since June so that we can air the Last Hope series for Godkiller, but now we are back with the Chaos Protocol for our interlude episode that takes place only 2 weeks after the finale of Arc 2. So we'll be back for that on Saturday. And then Sunday, weather and nature permitting, I'll be back on the Doomsayers over on Taino Tales, having more fun, more divine chaos as Merrick, the eater of the threads of fate.
Yum.
Ooh. Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I've been Nolvath, your friendly neighborhood burgeoning crab person.
All evolution roads
Yes.
Yeah.
to crab.
You can find me on the internet at Red Pandroid and back here on the show doing weird stuff. Speaking of weird stuff, if you like how busy our alien crew gets, you might like stories about romancing monsters. If you want more of those, you...
You're
Stop making
sorry. I'm back here now.
You might be interested to know that I have a doppelganger whose name is Sylvie Hellstaff. It looks very much like me, suspiciously so, in fact, and has written 2 books about romancing monsters. They are out now. You can find them in these pretty paperbacks or ebooks on Amazon. They're called Shadow's Light and Shadow and Flame. Also, if you have a Kindle, Sylvia is going to be participating in Monster Stuff Your Kindle Day, which is on Halloween this year. Go to their socials for information on that, but these books are going to be available in that event, so check it out.
Very exciting. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in and hanging out with this very strange crew and their very strange happenings. We are starting to slowly get to the end of this, at least this portion of the story. So yeah, don't forget to tune in next time. Thank you all, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
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 Bye.